Malko weiß in der Mathe.
Czekaj, który huknął. Ma. Dosyć, że patlimał biłę. A zostałem z takiej misji.
Troublemaker approaching.
Sharp enough. Hostiles nearby. A lot.
Don't make me bury another agent. Get him, boys.
Recharge for mayhem. Either restore my life or avenge my death. Need a hold. Revive me so I can kill him.
Start in the swamp. Gotta beat the beast so I can take
Taking position so I can take the Adrena time.
Knew you had my back. Just give me the time.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Troublemaker approaching.
Ready to waste them on your command. How are you?
Sharpen. Hostile crossbow.
Restore my life or avenge my death. Who needs to die?
Къде е този? Той да нема нарочно да ме примами тук. Доста беше. Бе. Оф. Ай, кажи ми. Да не съм идвал тук.
got my lamps on an unfront. Spy move!
Sıfır tişten. Yağmurda. Benim spayamı yesin. Взето някаква тъпотия тук в този склад. Видно. Къде сме сега? Надявам се.
What have we got here? Makeshift fortifications, refugees backed into a corner. Huh. Disaster waiting to happen. We going to kill Hierarch Ziegler soon? My knife hand's getting itchy. Who can say? There was no indication that I've seen. I've interacted with him on occasion. Seemed a decent, loyal sort. As interested as I am to hear whatever sorry explanation he has, not sure I'll be able to control my rage when I see him to ask why before I remove his spleen. Maybe I'll start with his gallbladder? No, I think it's gotta be the spleen. Such as? Nothing of much worth to tell there. I'd rather hear your story. Prison? Really? Were you mentally refreshed? How distasteful. Regret is for the unenlightened. Fortunately, the Dawn saved me from such concerns. They gave me a new life and wiped away the old. My world used to be devoid of color. Everything was gray. Now everything is vibrant, like the arterial spray of a freshly opened vein. And I'm still not interested in discussing it.
I see an unfriendly sword.
On advisement of the abbot, under good authority from the seer.
Unspecified dangers are predicted in these areas at an indeterminate point in time.
Your compliance for the continued safety of yourself, family, and our friends is greatly appreciated.
Tomorrow's lecture on effective...
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be.
Adjust your schedule accordingly. Welcome to the Order of the Ascent.
Yes, technically a hut is meant to be only one story. Because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down.
You are a necessary part of the plan. Therefore, you need to be part of...
Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
Voluntary 15% reduction in workforce, an unfortunate surprise to all personnel, something that would never happen with the Order, where our
They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
cradle to grave. Join the Order of the Ascendant and experience the beauty and elegance of the well-formulated plan. You'll never forget your first higher-order logarithmic differential. Violence and hostility within Matriarch's mercy will be met with swift and violent action.
The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of Order philosophy.
Law. I haven't seen this many folks crammed together since recalled libations night at the thruster. Smells about the same, too.
My soup is... Some people think soup doesn't qualify as a meal. Those people are incorrect and rude.
And then we solve for the... Ah, apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? Ah, Distraction and I are old colleagues at this point. My part in these shared circumstances is admittedly somewhat unique. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. By quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We nurture the body while we minister to the mind. We organize, we adapt. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it,
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
I remember this place before the war. Function.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the
Halt! I don't recall letting you inside. See, we have an entry process here. Means no cutting in line. You're a bad liar, stranger. I know a thing or two about probability, and you slipping past me is downright improbable. Either way, you're still a newcomer, so listen up. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. That's enough questions. Keep the line. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now. Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting...
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling up. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. but me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
How long are we meant to stay here? How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose last scrap. Or, I guess Wally Dortmunder did, huh? I still don't get any of this.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention.
You spill blood everywhere one time and you never hear the end of it.
Oh, I get it. Right. Well, I can generalize in a way where they likely won't follow. Here, in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yags, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a sick canid to feed.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in. Hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers, at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ, Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Why, I thank you. Takes a unique sort to appreciate the finer points of illegal smuggling. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast!
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure. Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Ow! Ah, I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
You used at least 2 words I ain't sure I know. And I already forgot the question. No? I think.
You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Oh, then you know more than us, I guess. Boss Tilda knows all sorts of funny business about this place.
2 of us? We just try to keep our heads down.
Ruth Bassar is the first...
Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, I must remember that one for the next time I schedule a moment of mirthful hilarity. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves. Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Stop it with the predictions. You don't even know multivariable calculus.
Just trying to cheer
We're
you
not
up.
going anywhere! Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. The
Show your work
so-called
or shove off.
exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom!
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Cheers to that, friend. When war looms its ugly head, adaptation is key. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. I was once considered quite the up-and-comer in the Department of Invasive Marketing. Looked down on all the bottom-rungers and have-nots. Then I came here and became one. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. This camp keeps us safe from the war. And now the Order wants to keep us safe from the camp? Where are we supposed to go? I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building. Probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch
Since the
Mercy
schism,
was safer than the trenches.
the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings behind us.
With soup, as with... There is an art to cooking. Alas, I am a man of science, not art.
By calculating the position of every atom in the universe, we can
Oh,
predict the future.
a visitor.
Control reality.
Without notice.
Send to a state.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rolo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. I mean, if you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, what do you call it, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already. Anybody needs me, I'll be right here patiently awaiting my latest personalized order prediction.
By the law. It's you.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Hold still and accept treatment.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Oh, May, is it? You're on a first-name basis already? This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Fair enough. The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's mercy, and rightfully off-limits. You see, the Seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The Seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. If it was a duly appointed Order official acting to assist me in distributing supplies to the displaced, yes. If that someone is you, no. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely, extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. Thanks to you, our automechanical doctor has been dispensing medication and setting broken limbs with tireless efficiency. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? How can I be of service? Since you...
Well, aren't you the eccentric? Excellent.
You lose something down there?
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. I was not informed you'd be arriving with a, scholar of alternative belief.
You are just dying to call me a cultist, aren't you?
Yes, surprisingly, we take umbrage with assertions of biological continuity post-launching oneself into a rift. Actually, perhaps it would be best if we just move on. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Since losing access to the archive, the Order has been forced to limit its open exchange of ideas and information to avoid contaminating what few predictions we can still make. The archive is a vast network of computational machines built beneath the ice of Cloister. Prior to the invasion, the Order used it to generate predictions on a vast scale. But listen to me prattling on. I'm sure you aren't here for a history lesson.
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse.
What?
I'm grieved to hear this news. Like many of our most brilliant minds, Victor was also troubled. I only wish I'd realized sooner the extent. Sadly, true. Now then, by exposing Victor's machinations, you've done the Order a good turn. Perhaps you would be interested in doing another? No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
He's got us there, Commander.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. I knew. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine.
But if you treat said lackeys with disrespect, like calling them lackeys, for instance, they may just stick a knife in you when you're not looking.
No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable partnership built upon a foundation of mutual respect and dedication to the plan. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these days, Wiley?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Ha! Good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp?
Oh, Administrant Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here. Has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
The seer predicted imminent danger to the exclusion zone. In the interest of safety, the displaced must leave.
Well, the displaced are the ones taking that risk, on the grounds the predictions can be false.
The displaced are under the Order's care, and the Order should decide what is best for them. Hence why we need the help of an outsider. Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established order construction guidelines. The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. The fault here is my own. I see now that the displaced require guidance steeped in logic and reason. I understand you were crucial in securing additional medical personnel for Matriarch's Mercy. Thank you.
Yeah, much appreciated. Way to go above and beyond. Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis? We have ample room to space people out more, but only if we utilize the exclusion zone.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. Speak on, then.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Her mission is to uplift and enlighten.
She's indoctrinating, not helping us. Can't you see the difference?
Point taken.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Fair enough. The Order does keep us refugees fed and plenty, medicated. To give credit, as I do with blame, where it's due. Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands.
Shit. Very well, administrant. You win. I'll honor the terms of the mediation. Let's hope your math was right.
Have faith. Or, if not faith, reason. We can still work together to improve conditions around Matriarch's Mercy. Your reward, Mediator, with my thanks. I now consider the matter decisively closed.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.